Thank you, gentlemen. Launders, I am ready for Mirage. INTZ with a shutdown on train, not even needing their star opper. A guy who had a ridiculous performance in terms of stats since the minor did begin. I mean, sure, that brings down his average, but we still got to give the guy some credit. Hell of a player there, and now with a team around him. But hell of a team in the form of Furia.
Yeah, he was responsible for a couple of the opening kills that were important for INTZ to be able to win rounds. Ultimately ended up with 8 kills, and just as Natu said, could be a lose condition for Furia if he decides to get more than that on this map. But it is their map pick, so we'll see if it matters.
Let's go. Cello and Destiny hiding in the corners of this A-bomb site. The rest of the counter-terrorists now coming inwards to envelop it, and Abel has found 2 headshots with his Glock. Cello swings out from his position, tapping away towards the jungle, will catch Vinny and get in position underneath the palace. Hello, Vito. He's got himself a beautiful kill, but it's all on Art, tagged to 29. Currently no kit on either of these CTs, so they're gonna have to go with the body block. Flash has them look fast.
Oh, wow.
It's a quick flick back in, all too easy. Defuse in the pistol. It's the CTs with the start.
Yeah, and even if that was a labored kill, there was a kit there for them to pick up by the stairs, so they'll get this defused, no problem. Nice round there from Cello, especially to be hid in the firebox spot, and even though his teammates died on his clock, he came out and picked up the pieces. Quick pistol round for INTZ. They start off Furia's map choice with a strong play, and Furia's CT side was really cool, and a lot of teams just had reverence for it. The fact that they were able to grab mid control by throwing a lot of nades to top mid and swarming it with 3 people. Again, not an easy thing to do on CT side, and a huge threat to the other team if you can pull it off. So the fact that they're comfortable pulling off plays like that, I think, bodes well for them when we move into the second half. But they'll have to survive this one and have like a decent amount of rounds to at least give them a security blanket so that we can see them get into the rifles and plant their feet on the ground. 5 rifles bought up for INTZ, 3 FAMASes, so it's not that great of a spot. They actually had just no SMGs whatsoever, and Furia have got into it with a buy. 2 Galils, 1 AK, a couple pieces of utility. INTZ will be happy to forfeit mid in this situation, which will be an alarm bell raised for Furia as they try to figure out what the setup is going to be.
KNG, first point of contact, spotted by Art. Will soften him up slightly, but not really a good way to get him out of this position. We're going to get that supportive flashbang coming up with 2 players as well, pushing into connector. KNG manages 2 of the 3 frags, and that's going to leave Yuri damaged. 13 health and an AK in his possession, but it's cut off. This jungle push, KS Serrato finds himself ahead of it. It is traded out equally and leaves us in an unequal situation. Bomb yet to cross, but it's being given space to do so. INTZ, they're nearby like piranhas.
This is tough. No nades to help them plant the bomb. INTZ don't have retake grenades, but it'll be on INTZ to give them respect in this situation. And the AK spray is just barely not good enough. The 2 kills go the way of INTZ. They'll get the bomb plant. At least Furia get the bomb plant, but I don't know how much money they're going to have after this.
Yeah, one of those situations where the bomb plant's great, but considering the investment, it's not nearly as if they've just jumped out Palace for the plant alone. So I feel like when a bomb plant comes in on a round like this, it's the bare minimum. You've got to get that down when you invest into the guns.
So the only thing that the bomb plant allows them to do is just get a couple extra grenades and upgrade pistols. If they'd like to, they're going to move into a buy next round. Art will obviously save for the op that he's so used to having. Pretty decent come back into the round for Furia, but if a couple more of these trades went their way, they could have potentially actually sealed it up, but the force buy is null. There's now a buy up here. Everyone goes back down to around 2K, 3 players with armor, everybody with nades, and they are grouping up for what's probably going to be a pretty fierce B exec. Yell in a power position, has the AUG on the balcony, and they've got Zand here from the van, who, if he jumps up and shows himself, might take attention away from Yell and allow him to just frag out.
Not going to be a problem yet. Such a huge amount of utility, though. So we'll see if the AUG rips through them. So far, so good. Vinny with a trade frag thanks to that CZ, but Zand is relegated down to the Deagle. Not going to be a problem versus Art, but it is Vinny now on an AUG of his own. 2 casualties stacking up on the side of INTZ, but 3-0 beginning to the half is still fine for them regardless.
Super fine, for sure. They've got a little bit of money to rebuy, and Furia were planning for this. So we'll get to see how they start things out, if it's going to be a default, take a mid control, or if they're going to go into a full A exec after fluffing that B hit. No bone plan is kind of a big loss, but at least they gave it a shot, grouped up, and tried something together. 3 players go out to the B apartment. Yuri here to spot at top mid. KMG seems to be back in the game already, lighting up the server. The number of frags moving into round 4. A good nade early on to answer back to all that spam damage coming in on the B apps.
Ooh.
Yuri also gets a kill.
Yeah, he even damaged Yell there as well coming off of Catwalk. So he's single-handedly kept them at bay towards middle. He's not the only one alone though. Look at Art's boost.
I think KNG heard this because Art jumped up, and I think he jumped up after there was a crouch going on. And yeah, it looks like KNG is just aware of it and cautiously will take his op back into jungle.
As they get closer to that A site, they will be met by Destiny. He's here just on the other side of the ramp. Could serve as a great pinch for Furia if they can combine this with the connector hit. But Destiny looks to buy some time, blocking it off with the smoke. That dwindling utility for INTZ is not going to make their job any easier since they're still fighting off of the back foot.
Yeah. Player spotted though. They've got 3 rotates over, so the man advantage might not count for anything.
Ooh, what about a double advantage? Because they do get that connector kill. Destiny with further damage onto KS Arado. He's primed his teammates to actually make this happen, and KNG in close proximity is not going to be overwhelmed. Zan then with 2 kills off the ticket peak, upgrading into the op to move it forward. The man's got 3 frags and his team's got 4 rounds. Great start to the CT side, but a shaky one in there.
Pretty tense situation, and you called it that, you know, they were low on utility moving into the end, and they also got that 5v3 early on. But, man, great round from Zan to get those 2 kills, and also Destiny to do a ton of damage on the A-ramp players to make it easy for Zan to come at the end and win the 1v2. That doesn't even look like a 1v2. KNG also, you know, should have gotten caught off guard there, but it's just too quick on the adjustment and flick it down to the player opposite triple and easily steals that back. So INTZ take the 4-0. Furia are going to be half buying once again, and we'll see what kind of eco antics they have in store for us. The notepad is out. Pages are being flipped through. We don't know if the decision is made or if it'll just be on Art to go ahead and make the final call. Notes are being taken. And let's see. Top mid smoke for K Serrato. Angie going for the off pick at mid. Art gets legged, but the information's gained.
He'll have a second chance at life. Still walking into Vito. He's chilling now in the jungle. Has the support as well from the players in the bomb site, who are doing a good job of just tagging up and sectioning off all fronts of this push. Furia's 2 remaining players are barely alive at that. And other than the damage versus Destiny, it's not all too substantial. So this is an excellent anti-eco, which is more of a half buy. But there are still options. With a single player and Yell at this B bomb site, maybe he gets unfortunate and Abel takes his head off. Problem being, of course, as said, 25 health combined for the 2 remaining members of Furia.
They absolutely want to get as many kills as possible, so it's fine to try to play this slowly and see if someone makes a mistake. Into running high on confidence, so it's not out of the realm of possibility that someone does take an overly aggressive peek. We've got Cello, who is kind of flanked around A-ramp, but is just going to make his way into Palace to see if they're going to do anything late round there. KNG will probably let him know that that's not the case, and Zen goes in for the last kill. INTZ 5 rounds to 0. The AKs are bought up instantly. They took that pause. They could have talked about this round and not the last eco round, or maybe just knocked out both at the same time. But yeah, we have yet to see something work for Furia. We don't know what they're going to try. Still early days, but after that last map, and I've just got so much more kind of more respect for INTZ. Felt like they were out of it. You know, I've had such high regard for Furia, but INTZ just grabbed a hold of that game and didn't let go. So faster connector control, always nice to see when they can get away with it. There was an underpass push, if I'm not mistaken. I think Yell got information on upper B. Serato gets the opening kill. He destroys both players who come down the A ramp. Doesn't have to move a muscle, loses less than 20 health.
Yeah, 1v2, so what? He's got himself an opening. Now, bomb has been left here, and Yell almost finds it.
Oh boy.
KNG just tucked away. Art gonna go for the knife kill, but yeah, he knows better. Zan protects his back without even realizing it, and we've got a round here where Furia have managed a massive advantage. KNG clears Serato, third time's the charm for the CT side.
I think it's just Serato.
Yeah, Serato?
Yeah.
Not Serato?
Yes, Serato. I think that's what you were told.
Serato, dude. That's a jingle, isn't it?
Could make a song out of it. I don't mind. I don't know if he does. KNG, way more kills than he even had last map already.
Yeah. Yeah, he's making up for lost time on train. I thought we were going to get another knife kill. I'm a little disappointed it didn't happen.
Yeah, Art just saw, he's like, okay, he's tucked into the wall, and he's like, got his side to me. I don't want to end up in a situation where I go for it and then look stupid.
Doesn't want to wind up like Fitch.
Yeah, exactly.
KNG, parting gift from Art. It's a headshot towards the spawn. So, 6th round is finally where Furia find themselves on the board. They've had openings.
It's actually a big find. They pick up an op that they couldn't have rebought. So Art wants to get, Art wants to drop his teammate, so nice kill at the end there. And it all really starts with Serato. Art always pulls off these really crazy lurks. He's always able to get either into the middle of the map or flank someone at B. And I have no idea how he does it, but he's very crafty, that one. Bunch of players up in the B apartments. Vinny holding for the push on Palace. They saw that last round, but they saw an A-ramp and Palace push, so they're going to be full alert. This time, however, ENTZ are playing it pretty passively. They've got Destiny at the A-ramp. Yell is on an Opno armor, but that is to complement the op and armor of KNG, who has rebought it, so they're just, you know, it's a compromise, but a very small one. Potential eco territory here if INTZ win this round. Stakes are high.
Same goes the other direction. Furia having them clearly at a disadvantage. Got a glass cannon, Yell, light utility, non-existent kits, and a helmet, or lack thereof, that could be punished by the Galil. But this is Furia just boiling it down into the mid-rounds. And this is something that Sponge mentioned on the desk where, you know, Furia should have the edge in these sorts of situations. They should have that cohesion and gelling factor, seeing as they're the longer-lasting team. Yell gonna miss his first bullet, and down he goes. Smooth entries into this B-bomb site, and not really a quick rotation from Cello. There was not any warning sign really there.
Yeah, no, they did a good job of not peeking at him, and that boost was meant to see as far back into B apartments as safely as possible, but because they stayed as far back as they could with the execute, the one flash to go over, it was very hard to telegraph, and they clearly didn't have a protocol for what to do in that situation. Just kind of were out in the open, hoping to find the engagements if they could come to them. And here, in danger of a reset, have already lost majority players. Furia do not want to give up a lot of these kills, even though they get win bonus. And Cello might be offered up one. Can he get another, though? Again, all of these kills worth their weight in gold, but the trade comes out for Furia, and they're up 3-1 in players this round. Oof, Destiny also fluffing the shot, and it's 4 and off.
Hey, hey, hey.
There it is. We saw a lot of that yesterday, honestly.
Yeah, that's true. You know, whatever you got to do to fire yourself up after losing map 1. Need some air underneath your sails, but...
Yeah, I mean, if it gets them tilted...
Yeah, exactly.
Do it all day.
Is there anyone on INTZ that you think might tilt?
I have no idea. I can't think of a single player, but it's still worth a shot.
Pistols back up for the counter-terrorists. Nothing around it. So this one is easy pickings.
For who?
Well, should be Furia. Out of the gate, Zan's got something to say. That's a couple of guns as well that they should be able to retrieve unless Serato keeps them back, which he will. Grabs bomb and heads strong towards the A site. Why not? Art's already cleared this out. There's a scary chance that this Opera could get overwhelmed if the support's not there fast enough, but his two teammates have come out from ramp now, so it's a family affair over on this A site.
Bomb has been planted.
All the guns they could have taken to save for next round might have been a worthwhile thing to do, but they go ahead and reach for the very unlikely retake 3v3 and 10-second defuse. A quarter of the way through the post plant. KNG's position unknown to Vinny, but Vinny doesn't have another target to shoot at, so if he comes out farther, might clear this, don't know. He's got an inkling, and he's definitely correct about where one of the two players are left. As soon as this save is official, there it is. KNG goes out for the peek, but the USP is not doing him any favors. And Furia take that back.
There we go. Starting to get their T side under control. It's a good time for a pause, and this one comes off of Furia, so they'll have two left after it. Obviously now no longer worried about getting reset themselves on the terrorist side. As you can see, $29.6 thousand in team money, already having bought up some. As many players bought for INTZ and much less money to do so. But the key takeaway here is that it's going to be a buy on both sides.
They have a number of things they can do. They've done a really strong B exec. They've had an eco towards B that kind of fell flat on his face, but they changed it up with the last one, which is more of a contact play, a single flash to come out, and that was a good setup to use when INTZ tried to pull something off, or that boost on top of the bench to try to shut down a default. That was kind of the perfect play that needed to happen, and it couldn't have come at a better time. It was the reset that earned Furia the 3 rounds that they have now. So B is definitely open for business if that's where they want to take their talents to, but they've also tried A splits and come quite close to pulling those back. It was Zand and KNG who really did the numbers to stop that aggression this round. Look at how many CTs are posted up around mid, just waiting for Furia to go for this. Scary thought. If they could see the minimap like we would, this is not the place that they would go.
But they do activate, push out, spot nothing. Art's actually just left the bomb carrier to double back towards ramp. Serrato, well, he's going to creep in from the underpass. This opens up many avenues of attack to the A site if they can further all of their initial positionings. And it leaves you to wonder, what is INTZ going to do in the face of a full-on execute? They have no counter grenades to slow it down, a single smoke on sand.
Yeah, more importantly, just post-plant grenades to try to retake.
It's not going to be easy at all. Unless, of course, they just straight up win their duels, because the smokes are out for the T side. Molotovs to prevent any kind of run out as well. And seeing as they can't actually compete within the A-bomb site, they use this time, this window of opportunity, to clear out middle, check.
Oh my god, how are you going to leave that open?
Yeah, good question.
That's the one thing that they had to watch with the smokes up. And look at these, now the kills are falling into place as they scramble to try to get the bomb down. Spam damage through triple, and luckily Serrato is here for the flank, but even he goes out of the round, and the man at triple is down to 7 HP. Vinny somehow is able to finish the kill off, but it's 1v2 for him, and he gets killed on default. What a flub.
That's wild stuff. I mean, you leave that opening on CT spawn for KNG, and then because your players are pinned into this bomb site with no smoke, it's faded. It's for that reason Serrato has to activate maybe earlier than he would have wanted to. You know, we just talked about how INTZ were clearing out middle, then they have those players inside of connector. I mean, think about it. Give Serrato another 10-15 seconds to come down the top of mid. It's very possible that he finds them with their backs turned, but
bomb's not even planted opposite triple or open for anybody in connector, and it's smoked off. They had stair smoke still up, they had a jungle smoke still up, and they had 3 people behind the bomb planter, and not one of them could watch CT. That is just such a big hole in the offense. I mean, it's
bogus.
Yeah, that's not something that can happen again for sure. Yeah, but INTZ will take that all day, and they still could have lost. But as you mentioned, we're able to put up numbers to destroy the remaining players with the opportunity that they had. So capitalized on that huge.
It was Art's job, clearly. He was the only player to have some sort of vision, and he misses the initial shot. Big headshots for Zand on that AUG, however. 3 of which will be within the mix. For the CT side this round. It's a fast cat push coming out. KNG caught off guard by the sheer numbers of Furia, but there's still a pinch here on mid. Cello inside of Connector, and then Yell on Cat. All the while, though, KS Dorado serves as a threat inside of apartments. Looking to flex this man advantage, Furia Art, and now they've gone one better. Leaving Art alone in mid, could have just been here to lurk around, but getting an additional kill really opens up the door. In fact, it's going to pull them back off of the B-bomb site, which is where Furia have opted to execute. 2 players charging ahead of the bomb, it is coming in tow, but now that they see that there's not really anybody here to stop them, it shouldn't be too delayed. Unless Zand goes absolutely wild. Sure, he wins the duel versus Yuri, but Yell is still primed in a position to clutch. Has the ability to jump and lands it. It's going to cut off a lot of time from his rotation. You can see the bomb just planted, but not going to expect Vinny to be scoped in already.
Yeah, his jump was heard when he fell off of Cat, did not end that one quietly, and Furia pull it back. A nice mid-round play from Art to be able to secure that Connector kill that he kind of knew Cello was tucked into that corner after jumping over top of the smoke, but to make sure to hunt him down was the big move there. And yeah, just a nice clean angle at the end for Vinny. But overall, Furia turned up the pace, decided to go mid very quickly. And I think if it was just 5v5, they got the opening kill and didn't have the trades go somewhat south at a moment's notice, they would have gone up Cat as fast as they're going right now. But Art is the first person to die on this bout. However, it is kind of a broken up buy for INTZ. They put some money into it, but they've not got great guns.
Right, and nor do they have any kind of positioning at this B site. The lack of posture allows Furia another easy entry. So sure, they've won the duel towards middle. They've won the battle, but clearly about to lose the war. Abel, another knife kill.
Just so many knife opportunities in this match, in this series. I mean, go for it. Just tons of cash. Just it just makes it so there's more rifle rounds to watch. So why not?
Take all the rifles I can. KS Dorado up there, 12-7. Top of the board for INTZ. Comes in the form of KNG. Oh, excuse me. No, Zand's up there as well. Just not as high ADR, Launders. I had him go under the radar.
Yeah, they both, all 3 of those players. Him, Destiny's only got 4 kills, and oh, he got 6 assists. So that is probably accurate. He's 95 ADR with 4 kills. Lift that crosshair up a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta get the headshot.
He's got to get the headshots.
You know, go for the gold.
1 round lead for INTZ, but that might quickly slip here. Furia seem to be winning all the correct rounds, forcing double saves out of INTZ. Lots of guns and grenades. And Furia are back to mid. They were able to perform a fast cat round twice. Both times it's actually failed for them to try to actually get around the corner, but it helped get them quick opening duels at the beginning of the round. So even though they didn't continue on with the cat split that they seem to definitely want to try, they at least were able to make it a low number situation before the round continued, which is exactly what you want on T side, as long as the trades go your way or even somewhat favorably go your way. A ramp push here, potentially for Destiny. He's tempted by it. Cello's got his back covering Palace. Bombs left back in spawn. We know Furia like to drag these rounds out. But as we can see, they're making a lot of moves. They've secured CPL. Art coming back and forth between top mid. Able at the top of Connector. It looks like a duel might occur.
Oh no. Unfortunate turn of events here towards jungle. You know, we had Cello just floating around minding his own business, and his life was taken away. Same for Art, in fact. Counter Terrorists looking to pinch down upon this push upwards. There's only 25 seconds. Things are about to get awkward. We have Zand, in fact, wielding that AK-47. The ump on Destiny still in the mix. I mean, there's so much damage already being done here to Furia that you'd think they still get through, which they will by the looks of it. But tell me you're not worried at least a bit.
Definitely. There's the A ramp player is able to crossfire with everyone in CT. If it was only CT players, then they could have just focused all their attention that way, but there was a giant crossfire to cut off the middle of the map. Yeah.
I think if that's anything, it's a prime example as to what we talk about when we say, you know, the synergy and the cohesion with Furia. Like in a moment like that, with already low time, when you're getting peeked by multiple bodies, do you understand how much communication is important in that moment? And yet, they get all those kills. I mean, they barely took any additional damage after this what had already been done on the entry. So just a tip of the hat from Scrawny to Furia, folks.
Yeah, 13 kills. Continuing to have a lot of impact. Nearing the end of the half, and Furia are the team to come back into it. So it seemed like INTZ were going to walk away with it, but yeah, they're starting to be able to control the tempo and pace on T side, which is what they have been good at so far at this minor. Again, options wide open, and so it's hard for me to call what they need to do and versus what they want to do. They could go for that B contact play. I would absolutely love to see that again, but then their mid aggression has been quite good. Answering back might be a great idea, but Abel J coming out right into the face of Cello and Zand, who were full blind and blowing them to smithereens.
He's got brains all over his shirt now. We've got KNG responding with something or other, but it's going to be the B hit yet again. So Furia really starting to redirect themselves to this other side of the map. Still keeping consistent in initial mid pressure this round with that swift 2K.
You absolutely cannot blame INTZ for trying to go up against that mid play, but Furia was so confident about it, and the flashes were great. Both players pushing, blind, not even around the corner yet. You'd think they'd be safe for a few more seconds. It seems like this time, I mean, it seems like the way that they route it, they're trying to see if they can get up Cat, and I think it's all in an effort to at least get ladder room control. They don't typically go for rush splits. The bomb? What's happening right now? Oh, okay. Just to draw attention to him. But it won't hold players in long enough. They're going to want to try to kill him, but mostly just to keep him within bomb radius, and he dies. He at least takes one.
He's committed to the cause.
But yeah, they're routing their strats at mid to go up Cat to probably get ladder room. But then they're almost always coming out successful in the trades by the time they get there. And then from there are like happy to default and then move into their slower A splits or delayed B splits. That's been the tail of the tape here on the T side of Furia. Now that mid control from the CT side has not worked out so well, it'll be interesting to try to find out what INTZ think they can do differently.
Well, they've lost the mid man. That was Sand who had bought up to the bottom. $100 in his back pocket. So we'll be getting into the 15th round next. Man, Furia's individual levels seems to start piecing itself together now. We've had quick headshots, we've had great placements. Just utter success as of late. I mean, remember, this was a 5-0 scoreline for INTZ. And we seem to be finding ourselves at 6-8 now. But it's not over. We do have KNG on this B-bomb site with the op, and bomb is coming. Ooh.
It was just instantaneous. It's just so quick, and KNG is one of the fastest oppers ever. For what it's worth, I mean, it's just the eye test, but geez, that's so nuts. It's like he's using a touchscreen.
I feel bad for him, but that's the nature of the beast. Counter-Strike has no mercy. If it did, it'd be called Overwatch.
Why? Oh, because of mercy. I didn't even know you played more Overwatch than I did.
Hugo's trying to show me the ropes. And Furia's trying to show INTZ the curtain on this first half. 1 round left over. We've got ourselves a hell of a T-side comeback. Nice to see a team obviously choosing this map and having shown us in prior days of this minor some excellent gameplay on Mirage. They're able to get it started once more. I thought, obviously, after the train result, after the 5-0 start to this one, that we may have had ourselves a pretty quick day in the office, Launders.
last attempt. And what is going to happen here? Are INTZ going to go out to mid again? Are they going to try that? Or how are they going to deal with what they think is going to be mid control? That's going to be their primary threat that they're worried about. Some of the earlier choices they've made to try to push Palace and A-Ramp have been successful. Furia this time are set up to stop both of those types of aggressions and have actually also traded for mid control. This time they've only got 2 people there. This is a great setup from Furia. They're moving in swiftly and taking all of the right engagements.
Fast round once more, picking up the pace, looking to make it quick and easy, but trade frags sufficient for Furia, enough to get this bomb onto the site, you'd think. Just playing it safe, smoking off jungle. If they go anywhere other than default, they're fine. Yell, however, throws a wrench in the works.
Oh, where are they going to push? Yeah, it looks like they might not let them get away. We'll see. But even not seeing them is going to tell them a lot. Yell is going for the flash. I don't know if it's to try to bait them into coming through, but that's kind of what he wants.
They have so much time to play with. We talked about their mid rounds. We praised it even. And it very well could have just worked once more. He hits the leg shot. What a tease. Abel limps in. As the case, Serato will plant bomb surely. Zand, you gonna make that hop?
Bomb has been planted.
Nope. Breaks the vent as a distraction. We'll walk through market instead. He's got the kit, no utility to play with. 3 flashbangs in the mix for Furia, but now that he's fired the AK, they know where he is. He's going to try to pick up that pace, stampede forward, and falls in his endeavors. 9 rounds to the T side of Furia on their map choice, and we're going to have to take a break before we see if this is done in 2, the comeback can happen, or whether the series goes the distance, folks. We'll see you in a bit. A 5-0 start that looked promising turned back on its head. Furia, with 9 rounds out of the last 10, have given us a hell of a T side. But now they'll be on the defense, and this pistol could either be the difference between a comeback and a quick finish here on map 2. Scrawny and Launders to take you through the Brazilian bonanza that is INTZ versus Furia Esports. Not elimination, not a ticket to the major, but just figuring out who goes down to the lowest bracket.
And who goes up to fight NRG?
Yes, sir. A daunting task after seeing them perform versus Envy. But you missed that one, folks. You're still in time for some Counter-Strike, of course. Bombs planted, 5v5 situation, always fun. Quick couple of kills here from Yuri. He's going to even try to find a third. He is still within this bomb site. And Serato has revealed himself in underpass. That's now 2 terrorists trying to get him out of here, but the bomb's being defused while they're distracted. Ha ha! Round 10 is theirs.
Oh man, it's just like Serato coming out of underpass was enough to get them to be able to defuse the bomb. Yeah, Ralph laughs in his grave. That's funny. Okay, so that maybe it is going to be a quick end to it. We'll see. This is a good place to start. Prop up this first half, and they got the bomb plant, so they can put together a buy if they'd like to. A couple of AKs could be dropped, and you know that's a ton of fun. I think that I would assume they would attempt it, especially being down 4 rounds at this point. An SMG bot on Serato able to will make a decision. It'll probably be an SMG as well, considering his economy. But Furia definitely in the power position. Top is so much better than the bottom. Top score.
Of course.
Bottom score.
Well, you know, it depends on if you want to be in control or if you prefer playing from the back foot. It's where some people do their best work. I still can't believe this. Serving as a distraction. They swooped in on him.
He just lived for too long. He almost got his kill too. I mean, he almost just went ahead and got that first one. Maybe set himself up for the second. Molly to A ramp, flash over mid so Yuri can peek. Furia are in full control. INTZ will go for the delayed mid take with 2 nade sets on those rifling players. So at risk of maybe losing them, Yuri gives a bit of shoulder. But that's it. It's not that kind of guy. KNG at the bottom of connector. And that's it. Mid control is out. Now they've got to think about what to do with it. What is on their mind? I think Furia have CPL control, so they've got a player posted up on Cat-ish. KNG will kind of try to keep them in check. He's not actually snuck out to connector. So, interesting setup to go for the A play. Yell has a deagle in the B apartments, and KNG goes out and gets his kill. I don't know if that was on CPL or window. I think it was in CPL. That opens up B a little bit more. The push is coming out, our number 8 man. Serato is here with an MP5, just an MP5.
Yeah, not the best for this situation. Luckily, he will at least find that deagle player first. Then it's the one with armor. So he'll actually catch a double. Destiny's going to drop the bomb into the back pocket of Zand. Yuri silently sneaking out from the marketplace. Falls for the bomb tap, but doesn't commit to his death. All the while, KNG putting in work elsewhere. Now KNG's going to have to come save the day. Zand has 7 health. He needs swift headshots, and he's not going to find it. They know where KNG was. He has 8 seconds to get outwards. This is going to be a bash. Jumps forward and can't get it done. That right there, folks, is Yuri and Furia finding an 11th round. Costly, of course, but that goes both ways. INTZ did have 3 rifles in the round.
That's true. It was an investment both ways. And yeah, it was the CPL player who died first. Serato getting 2 kills could have been the biggest play of the round. But Yuri stayed strong on the bomb side as well. Rotations came in just in time, and there was no overcommitment from any of the Furia players, so pretty solid stuff. 11-6. And INTZ are all staged up at the A ramp besides a Yell who dies at the top of mid. Not only giving his life, but a lot of information over to Abel, who now knows that it's not going to be some kind of late mid take or mid explode with a bunch of T players. They go back to see if he's pushed all the way through, find that he hasn't. And now we'll clearly try to come up the A ramp.
Still a deagle headshot. A small silver lining for an attempt out ramp. They're very wary of the mid peak for a moment. I don't blame Art, and doesn't have any support in this position. But Yuri is patient and rewarded for set patience. Just gonna even grab Destiny, and it's an easy cleanup once INTZ realize they have nothing else to do but try their best on the entry. You have no utility, it's not like you're gonna fall back. You know, just try to get it through and through. But they're stopped, they're blocked, and it's Furia with a strong start on the CT side. We saw the exact same thing out of INTZ before they lost control of the half in the first. So don't go anywhere, folks. comebacks happen.
The hallmark play for Furia CT side is to take mid control. Again, it's something they do really well. And I don't know if that's something they want to employ specifically versus INTZ. We just know that they have used it in the past. On this round, they're playing it quite passively. Initial Molotov out for B control in case Ro4 goes into jump spotting mode. It's not got a target right in front of him. Yell is down to half HP. Everyone split up. It's kind of a stalemate at the moment. Now that some of the utility has been used on both sides. Hard to say who actually has the advantage at this point. But nothing special. None of the forward positions like connector control or ladder room have been taken over by the T's. Bomb still all the way back here at mid. And there are no pushes. I think they're definitely weary of that kind of threat that Furia might be pushing their way up the top mid. Connector Molly will come out. And INTZ will finally cross to mid.
Will not be given any sort of target yet, but after a swift delay, we do have Furia at least feeling out middle. See the catwalk player coming in and trying to pry for information. Same for Yuri. Utility near non-existent on both teams, so it's an all-in. With the final 30 seconds of the round, INTZ will attempt to entry A. Flashbang goes deep to block off the ramp push, and then KNG wins the op duel. Destiny, he may have opened up shop, but Abel's still beneath the palace. They need to get him out of here, and Cello will do so, but dropping bomb in the process slows it down in a very, very tight situation. 10 seconds left, and Destiny doesn't hit his shot versus Yuri. It does open things up for the bomb plant, but it puts a CT in a prime spot to flank him. If only Yuri had stayed up a moment longer, it would be a 2 versus 2. Ro4 has given us many things to praise already this map. Looking to add a clutch to the tally, but KNG's been on fire. The two heavier hitters, and there you go. Op lands, INTZ immediately onto the board in their T-Half once they got some guns.
Interesting. Sometimes you see teams take a long time to get up to take mid control so they can move forward to connector. Once the minute mark passed, they actually just stayed on top boxes and left, I think it was Destiny up there. And that seemed to be enough for them to feel comfortable going back into an A execute. Now they could have just gone for the A execute and probably still had like similar chances. If you have someone in connector, it's a much bigger threat. But maybe because of the way that Furia play, they're good with just this kind of basic amount of map control, and they just needed that just to have clarity of mind that there wasn't going to be a fast flank coming out before they went back to kind of a basic strategy in executing on the A site. Abel J gets caught off guard here as it is a save for Furia. Basically only pistols. Yuri does have a scout at the very least, but it's not much to work with. And Art, how sneaky can he be? Not enough to catch Zand off guard.
So it looks like the only thing Furia will have is at least some money in their back pocket.
Pretty good split. I mean, sorry, it wasn't even really a split. They just had top mid control, but pretty good A exec. The entries came their way like super easily. Cello did have to get this kind of magical entry onto Underbalk after getting tagged down to less than 20 HP. So, you know, a couple of those engagements rested on a hair trigger, but they made it happen, and KNG got his opening op duel as well. So, fair to say that Furia were far from being able to close that out. And there, some information is gained. Ro4 moving into the exact same position that he was last time. Slightly deeper off angle. Oh, wow, that's a nasty shot.
Yeah, Zand's gonna get sectioned off as well. Ro4 doing a very good job of controlling the apartments in back-to-back rounds. However, his teammates are all dead elsewhere. So take your parting gift and run right into KNG. Cerebral smokes it off. Realizes now the man was in mid. This should ensure it unless KNG goes one better and meets him in the palace. They call him King Vito for a reason.
King Vito because
he was going to be in palace.
Oh, okay. Jeez, these are, I'm not quick today. These are just, I mean, you got some good ones, and I'm just lagging behind. I had this totally lost on me.
It's the shift to the late shifts, Launders.
Maybe that's why. Yeah, it's just time zones and stuff. Yet legged.
It's not like
Out
we've
of
been
it.
here for a week and a half, you know?
Whoa, okay, thanks for throwing me under the bus. And then backing up, appreciate it.
You got to make sure you get both legs.
Yeah, wow, that's quite an image. Attack pause called second last one, so you could see they're putting a lot of thought into how they're going to approach this game, even though Furia seemed to have a firm grasp on the rounds. INTZ put two together, and one of them, although one of them was an eco, it helps kind of come back from this monumental lead that Furia have made for themselves. Super good damage from Caserado. And again, even on the eco, so there's just like money that adds up and counts against INTZ when it comes time to buy again if they lose. Very few chances to fail is kind of the story at the moment. Furia have gotten 4 AUGs, and there's 3 AUGs and a SIG to support Art. Sounds like pretty good support to me, but Art is the first person to go down.
Yeah, Destiny gets him the moment he exits out ramp, and despite Abel being blind, he almost gets 3 kills. Will stop one short. The damage is done. Zan lucky to be standing at the moment. KNG's just gonna have to clutch in that bomb.
This is, okay, so the afterplant, it's default, you know? So this is, the afterplant positions they have are no longer that good. Yell has to take a fight before they cross. KNG needs to stay alive. They don't have utility to flush him out though, so he might be able to stay a threat.
Yell keeps looking away from flashbangs, about to be peeked from all directions. They're focusing on the gunfights, and they've found them.
Damn. Yeah, I mean, the afterplant positions were not perfect. The smoke to stop KNG from peeking CT was huge too. Landed on default. It wasn't even there for them to like kind of sneak defuse. It was just to help them get out of CT spawn. And so a very nice retake from Furia to stop that A hit. That has been pretty good. Good opening entry, but also damage from Abel J. Needs to be stated again. Look at that. That was just a preemptive spray down to Firebox to take out KNG. Basically didn't need to peek, but when you're at Firebox and you've been spotted, you're always thinking, I'm going to eat a nade if I just sit here.
Yeah.
So you're thinking, how do I get a kill before that happens?
Breeds the idea of going for said peek.
Yeah. Little did he know that there was no nades to flush him out, so you made his bed.
We had an early flashbang over connector for a little aggression from Furia, but they are not met by aggression on the other side. You touched on it lightly, the potential for that reset, that very small margin of error for the offense. And this round costs them everything they have.
A few good kills from Caserado to really just siphon out all the money that they had going into this buy. The T's make their way back to B this time. Or do they? Bomb is drifting back to the A site. Are they going to try to perform a fake? No, it looks like they're just going for the split, this time through underpass. One thing that INTZ have not done is gone for a straight up connector control into an A split, like some very standard stuff. That's a primary way that people approach the A site and try to win rounds on T side, just in general. Seems like INTZ are not such a huge fan of it. But we'll try to, pull some sleight of hand and just rush it with 3 or get into the window. Will they hear? They heard the op scope. Did they think it fell back?
Oi, oi.
Damn.
That's a swift one. Destiny does get into the windowsill. He was very wary, keeping his head on a swivel, catching the Opper in Art. Abel, who did massive damage in the previous round from the A site, is cut down after just 1 kill. Bomb planted, and wow, that was swift.
Damn, and Abel got blasted through the CT boxes. That was crazy.
Caserado, their heaviest hitter, wasn't even in the mix. And I believe Yuri was one of the first to fall. Take those 2 pieces out of the puzzle.
And yeah, they do it kind of inconspicuously. Coming up into the front of connector, getting the boost into window just after Art falls off. And it's a lack of information that cost Furia the ability to, I guess, stay where they were. It was partly due to timing. The boost could have come up a bit earlier, just before Art peaked, and then maybe he gets a kill. But overall, it looked like INTZ just pulled off exactly what they wanted to do, how they wanted to do it, and yeah, almost never had lacked control of the situation. Caserado takes an AK into this round, but it's another save. INTZ are right back into things. And it's always a great sign when the T's are flanking people. But yeah, solid round overall. A bomb plan as well to prop their economy up even further.
It's a good chance to bring it back.
I think that one thing they want to do is just avoid K-Serrado on the B apartments. He's on the eco and he's got a gun.
They drop Yuri too, so that's the Deagle down inside of the connector. K-Serrado primed to be boosted up on Cat, and look at the end result. Zan gets the one-tap dirt nap.
Oh my goodness.
Yell could almost taste that bullet. Abel's going to hear the footsteps, so he's not going to be caught off guard. Anticipates them, and that's a lot of damage for a CZ. I mean, a kill versus Destiny and KNG to 42. This would be a heartbreaking way for INTZ to lose a round. KNG puts the plant responsibility onto the back of Yell.
Yeah, they don't have a smoke, so any early damage they can get is going to be worthwhile. It's really on Furia to try to wait this out as long as possible, to be honest.
Here's the problem. KNG, he can't actually watch CT spawn because he's tagged. Cello is allocated to watching jungle and ramp, and that puts Yell in an open plant. Grabs the cover to anticipate the CT peek. Good little movement here from Cello. Now the problem is, how does he get back? He's not going to be able to move, so he commits to the duel, and he loses it to K-Serrado. Yell, the bomb planter, stuck in position, is just waiting for this peek, but if he peels his eyes away to try and stop the other CTs, then surely he's going to get wrecked. They know exactly where he's at, and he can't spray them all. Furia isolating those kills one by one. They've gotten themselves a 14th.
Yeah, and just the little bit of patience was enough. Again, they didn't have any smoke to cover the plant, so they had to use a body and push him out in the open. And yeah, KNG, I don't know how he died, but he got absolutely blasted by Vinny, even though he was opping from the A-ramp, probably holding for that stairs peak. And a fortunate duel goes their way. Furia take 14 and take a confident stance to be able to close out the map. Nice stuff from them on this eco round. Thought for a moment there that INTZ were going to get their feet on the ground, but look at that. Even Vinny doesn't even swing out stairs. It's just a standard peek right out the side of it. Oh man, it's a long climb back in, and losing rounds like that is just so demoralizing.
Yeah, you can only afford those when you have a wider space to work with. It's getting real narrow. Not entirely bottomed out, you know, it's something of a buy. Still some shaky legs. Could work the boost into the windowsill. There is no CT in position, but there is one watching it from the back of Market.
It's actually huge that KNG falls off of that. Just doesn't, I mean, after making noise, is now concerned that it's been heard that he was trying to boost. Could throw a spanner into the works. Don't know if they'll attempt a reboost or not. But it's been Furia to play quite passively, especially at the window. They've let INTZ take control of it, and that has honestly counted against them on a lot of the rounds. So even though Furia are comfortable in this setup, INTZ have done so much with window room control. Their late connector takes have been huge too. The boost is flubbed once again. And again, they just reset because it's so unsafe once you make that noise.
Cello's got too much hair gel.
Yeah, it's just a slip inside.
So it's going to go for the B push. 25 seconds, they charge right in. K-Serrado has cover both from Vinny and the bench. Cello will get one kill, but his teammates are already back behind him. Yuri has very quickly got into position, and it doesn't seem as though the T's will get much more done here. KNG, sure, he catches the rotator, but so what? 10 seconds, no bomb. That's 15 rounds for Furia, and they will have 6 map points to push this onto the third map. Inferno could very well be on the menu.
Not bad at all, and we don't know what would happen if KNG finally got into window. It felt like trying to watch the Spirit Bomb leave Goku's hands in Dragon Ball Z. Like, it was like 3 episodes long waiting, but he never actually got in. And then when they went to B, that's actually where K-Serrado has just been ready and waiting this entire map. He was so good on the B site yesterday. He was in his favorite spot at bench, and Vinny was there, the hero from that last eco retake, who got 3 kills, put down 3 more, and pushed Furia into match point position. Last timeout called for INTZ, and they've spaced them out quite well. But here on the last round, it's just because. I mean, they don't have enough money to really put together anything good. And they'll have to dig deep to pull this one out.
Real deep. Flipping the couch cushions to try and collect some change. What's the end result? KNG single AK. If there's any, saving grace for INTZ is the fact that KNG has had this re-emergence since Train. He's very much a part of the puzzle.
Maybe you should bottom frag again.
Yeah. Has taken it all away from his team. So they are not successful, but he is. Will be the linchpin, the raid boss, the backbone to this round. Molotov deep to the top of mid. Yuri may be underestimating the amount of a threat that does sit there, but they do have the B apps push right now from Vinny, I believe. Regardless, KNG gets his kill. Looking for another one on this B site. It is Art to hold down ramp.
Oh, wow. Oh, he's doing so much now. He got the A ramp kill, and that actually allows Abel to get his.
Wow. The AK kicks it off, but then all those pistol players are just kind of force-fed into their death. It was not an underpass flank, but rather a CT cap player. KNG cleared out by Abel. What seemed like an inevitable outcome after such a lopsided start. It was 5-0 to 9-6. If that's not an indicator as to Furia's ability to keep this series rolling, obviously happy with that result. It's definitely got to boost them and the morale for their team, folks. We are moving on to Inferno, a map that we have seen already won by Furia. And so, we'll see you there.